All right, hello everyone. I'm Yulia Hanansen, and thank you for coming here to listen to the presentations. I would like to talk about art. It seems like it hasn't been mentioned yet, and it's a good time to mention it because I think it's a huge part of reimagining Towson community. So here's a typical Towson scene where students are walking from class to class, and they usually stare at their computer screens or phone screens, and if they take their eyes off that screen, what do they see? A big brick wall, or maybe concrete wall, right? An empty space. So, well, of course, they go back. You go back to the screen. What are you going to do? Look at the empty wall, right? So, and here's another one with the one lonely bike parked right there. But what if this wall has that? So now you parked your bike with the wall, by the wall with the view that has something on it, right? So it's very colorful, and pretty soon everybody is going to be parking their bikes there. Right? Because we're going to become the biking and walking community, and I really love to hear about that from previous presenters, that it is up in the works. The bike lanes are in the works and everything. So therefore, we're going to be walking a lot and looking at things. For example, why would you want to stare at this wall? It's gray. But that, wow, you just solved your math problem by looking at this? Or maybe you look at this and say, oh, there's a warning, there's a bunch of steps coming out. I better don't look at my screen for a second. I better pay attention to what's under my feet, right? So, or if you're not a student, if you're a faculty or a visitor, you can imagine something. You're looking at something now. So you're looking at art, and you actually takes your mind off your heavy tasks and everything else and takes you elsewhere. So my idea of reimagining Towson community is to construct, with the help of volunteers perhaps, a series of mosaic murals that will beautify our community. If you look around, we have very little color around. It's all kind of gray and bricks, and especially during the school year, because it falls in the fall, winter, and spring before everything gets green. So we do need more color. We do need more imagery in Towson. So here is another one. And what I'm thinking is the idea is to maybe conduct a series of interviews with people, with students, staff, and faculty, and see what they want to see on the walls. And those mosaics can become windows to alternate spaces. So what do you imagine? What would you like to see? What will make you relaxed and think about something else? Why mosaic art in particular? Well, first of all, I've been doing it for many, many years, and this is what, as an artist, I have to offer to the community. I have to offer my art. Mosaics are very durable, so they will withstand solar flares or anything like that, winters. It's all fine with them. They're very strong. They're made out of glass, which is actually produced as a local material. And by local, I mean, with everything being made globally nowadays, by local, I mean here within the United States and very close to home. The glass is made in Pennsylvania, Virginia, Indiana, so it's very close local resource that we can have. And then it gets to my studio this way, and then I use it to make mosaics. Also, good part, a very interesting fact about mosaics is that they are color fast, so they're not going to fade or anything. They're very durable. They are not going to get destroyed. It's for many years to come. It's a really good investment. Also, mosaic pieces go really well with the architecture. And this is the piece that I created for the Medina Public Library in Ohio. It's a 116 square foot mural. Oops, sorry, missed the. And also, mosaics are virtually maintenance-free. So this piece has been there for many years now, probably 7 or 8 years, and you really don't need to do much to them. There's no cleaning requirement or anything. So very durable. And mosaics also make a fantastic visual statement. Whatever it is, it makes a really beautiful statement. So I've done public mosaics before. This is a piece or the installation that I've done with the help of 47 volunteers. We logged in 600 hours, about that, into this project. And this was done for the University of Michigan's Botanical Gardens. They approached me with the idea to have something on this empty wall. And this was the entrance, and also brick, right? So bricks have a lot of competition. Like they kind of like are there, but we want to do something with them, right? So instead of just having an empty wall, we made mosaics. I proposed a series of sketches which I designed. It has to do with the Michigan's ecosystem. There's 8 of them, and so I did 8 panels. And me and volunteers set to work. I've trained a lot of them, have been taking my classes for many years, so I've assigned positions for them, and so they would help others. Then we grouted our pieces and installed them later, and here's the opening of the project. So everybody in the community was very excited. And what's interesting about this is that actually brought a lot more people to the botanical gardens because they had this project. And it became also part of their advertising and part of their imagery eventually. So that's how important the art was. And that's how much it beautified the space around it. Mosaic art is a great way to transform the space. So I've also done projects in collaboration with the community. So this is the Jewish cemetery in Washington, D.C. And I did this collaboration with another mosaic artist, Ali Mirsky, and this is what we did. So it went from this, bricks, lots of bricks, right? And it went to this. How beautiful. Now there's something to look at. So, of course, after proposing sketches, we put together these mosaic panels and installed them later. So this time we didn't have volunteers, but you get the idea that it's possible. If people are willing to help, this is wonderful. And this is what we come up with. Here we go, back to the original. Right? So that helped to beautify the community. And now what we hear about it, that the mosaics were so influential that they actually started to repair the buildings inside just to make it as beautiful. So that's the impact. I also would like to talk about the art being indoors. So it's not just outside, but also indoors. So I was approached by the Rawlings Conservatory and Arboretum in Baltimore to collaborate with them on the show. And this is what the space looked like before. So they have 2 pavilions in there. And by installing my mosaic art, and they installed the flowers, we did the collaboration, this is what it became. So you can see how art can transform everything. And I think it really does elevate the mood. It makes us think about something else, and it really excites everyone around. So that's the end of my presentation. If you have any questions? No? All right. So, thank you.